Imagine walking across a university campus. You're not a student or a professor. You are an experiment. And the subjects are all around you, watching from the trees. This was the scene at the University of Washington, where researchers John Marsleff and his team donned specific rubber masks. One was designated the dangerous face, a primitive, caveman-like mask worn exclusively while trapping and banding wild crows. Another was a neutral face, a mask of a then vice president worn by researchers who simply walked nearby without interacting. The crows, intelligent and observant, immediately began to form an association. They weren't just seeing a mask, they were logging a face. The truly remarkable part wasn't the initial reaction, but the memory's endurance. Years after the initial trapping, a researcher could put on the dangerous mask and walk across campus, and the result was instantaneous. Crows that had been trapped would sound harsh, scolding alarm calls. They would gather or mob the perceived threat, dive-bombing the person wearing the mask. But what's truly astonishing is who was doing the mobbing. Over 70% of the crows scolding the mask were birds that had never been captured. Some weren't even born when the initial experiment took place. They had learned the grudge secondhand. This points to a form of cultural transmission. The original crows didn't just remember a face, they communicated its significance. When an adult crow saw the dangerous face, its alarm call and aggressive posture served as a public service announcement to every other crow within earshot, especially its own offspring. This one, the behavior screamed, is a threat. The fledglings would associate the mask with their parents' frantic, distressed behavior, forging a powerful emotional memory without any direct negative experience of their own. It's a distributed threat detection network built on social learning. To see this process in action, researchers designed a clever experiment using a form of avian PET scan. Crows were safely injected with a glucose tracer that would accumulate in active brain regions. They were then shown the masks, the dangerous face they had been mobbing, and a caring face worn by the researchers who had fed and cared for them. When viewing the dangerous face, scans lit up in areas related to fear, emotional memory, and high-level associative learning. Specifically, regions homologous to the mammalian amygdala and hippocampus were activated. It was the neural signature of recalling a specific, emotionally charged memory tied to an individual. The similarity to our own brains is not an accident. It's a profound case of convergent evolution. Mammals and birds diverged on the evolutionary tree over 300 million years ago, taking vastly different paths. Yet, faced with a similar problem, the need to navigate a complex social world and identify specific individuals, both lineages independently evolved similar neural solutions. The crow's forebrain, particularly the Nidopallium caudolaterale, acts as an analog to our own prefrontal cortex, handling executive function and integrating sensory input with memory. It proves that there are fundamental principles to building an intelligent social mind, and nature has discovered them more than once. So what is a crow actually recognizing? It's more than just a static image. They are processing a collection of features in context. Experiments suggest they pay particular attention to the upper part of the face and the eyes. A direct gaze from a known dangerous human is a much stronger trigger than a sidelong glance. But they also factor in other information. Is this dangerous individual carrying something unusual? Are they in a novel location? Their response might be moderated based on this new data. They aren't mindless automata reacting to a picture. They are performing a continuous risk assessment on an individual they have filed away in their memory. Ultimately, this incredible ability is not just for avoiding danger. It transforms their entire world. It allows them to populate their environment not with a faceless species of giants, but with a cast of known characters. They remember the caring face of the human who reliably provides food just as strongly as they remember the threat. They can differentiate between park visitors, learning who is likely to share a sandwich and who is likely to chase them away. For a crow, the urban landscape is a complex social map of individuals, each with a reputation. And every time you walk past, you're being seen, evaluated, and quite possibly remembered. Monotony has grown fast. Nearly 2,700 people have watched in the last few weeks, yet less than 0.03% are subscribed. It would mean a lot if you joined by hitting subscribe. And again, thanks for watching.